It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies. YK in the building.
Yo, good morning.
Hi, YK. This is green and white. I like you're very Nigeria compliant.
I'm a patriotic Nigerian.
I can see that.
She must be feeling our president.
Hi, but I'm feeling our president.
Yeah.
Well, his speech was actually not bad yesterday.
Yes.
Not bad. Dealt with a lot of issues.
Yes.
You know. So.
And I felt it was a bit more personal than usual. There was something about the president's speach that just, I mean, we'll talk about it a bit later. But I think I just felt somewhat connected when he was speaking yesterday than usual. You know, there was a bit of more connection. Maybe, I don't know, just something more. Anyway, how are you doing, YK?
I'm fine. Exercising.
Yes,
I'm hoping that I've lost weight in this COVID because I'm really, every day, well, I won't do today because I had to wake up very early. So when I get home, I will be too tired to, but I will walk. I will go for a long, like, 5,000 steps today. You know, we do like 30, 40 minutes walks every day. We try to do it every day.
Wow, me, all my clothes are tight.
I'm in that same category.
I actually noticed.
My clothes are getting tighter.
I actually noticed.
Right? Yesterday was really
But you know,
terrible.
you can't stop binging.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the real thing. It's not even the meals.
because you're not doing anything. You're just at home.
Plantain chips, never, cashew nuts in my house. You know, I don't like chin-chin, but now kids like chin-chin now. Now also helping them to eat chin-chin. Oh, God. I mean, it's just terrible. Honestly, we have to stop this. And now they're giving us an extra
What
week.
I've done is I have some nuts, and so that's what. But my daughter says they are very high in calorie as well. But it's still better than eating chocolates.
Right.
Yes, I'm big.
Oh, there's this chocolate I discovered.
My partner.
You see, you have to go and write dark chocolate on it. So I thought, dark chocolate is healthy. Man, that stuff
was
tastes
sweet.
good, man.
And if you check the back, the sugar content.
I just use the fact that it's dark chocolate, and I just keep buying. I mean, like I buy one a day, and I feast on it. I mean, like it's terrible.
My partner loves chocolate.
I leave you alone in that category.
Anyway, it comes to you, Tope, how are you?
I'm good. I'm grateful to God for every day. I'm trying hard not to worry about tomorrow or what the business landscape of Nigeria would look like post-COVID. I'm trying hard not to worry and just focusing on, let's be happy. Let's take it day at a time. At least you have food to eat. Don't complain. Just be managing each day, you know. I'm trying to see if I'm working or not worrying. I'm imagining those that actually are struggling with basics, how difficult that would be for them. So let's just be grateful for where we are and what we have.
Yeah. So YK, we got some masks.
Yeah.
I heard you say it on
Yes.
I can't wait to get mine because, you
cheap.
know, I use, and you know, you're supposed to wash your masks every day. You know, you can't.
And she has some that has this color. So they're different colors. So you that like colors.
Matching colors.
Yeah.
I'm
So thank
very
you again
excited
to
because
Chief.
since mask is going to become part of our...
I've been seeing all sorts
Chief.
of...
You said Chief, you did not complete it.
Chief
Mrs.
Kemi Nelson again for the mask centers.
Thank
I know
you.
people are actually asking us, getting requests for masks. So if you do want to donate, we're going to get a few also to give out to people. Once we have, I'll let you know when we have. We don't have it yet now, but for the one from Kemi Nelson, we're giving out to staff and our colleagues. But if we get more, we'll definitely
how
give
many
out
were
to
there? Are there that many?
50.
Oh,
50 pieces.
that's not that many.
Yeah, so
Considering the
Considering the
staff.
staff strength.
so we'll definitely give it out. Anyway, let's go on a break. When we come back, we breeze through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Right, we'll start with The Nation. Buhari ends lockdown in Lagos, Ogun, FCT by Monday. Bans non-essential interstate movement, nationwide 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew from from May 4th, actually. President shuts down Kano State for 2 weeks. Tinubu wife tests negative. CBN lifts suspension on check clearing. INEC no plan to shift Edo and Ondo polls. 30 cars burnt in Lagos fuel station fire. Okay, let's take the major headline, or which story do you want to take?
Well, I want to take the CBN story. That's the only
ahead.
place I saw it. So the Central Bank of Nigeria, Emefiele, had already sent a circular as at March 28, putting a ban on checks clearing. So businesses were on lockdown, but he said based on the response he's gotten from banks and how the government already plans to reduce the restriction on movement, that he has now approved that from the 28th of April checks can now get cleared. Because I know that I took the story last week where the Shippers Association, like Lagos Shippers Association, were complaining that the banks, restriction on banks were affecting them and letting their demurrage build. And so that the banks should also open a bit for them and other businesses that are still essential. So I'm happy that this has been done.
Picture here of Ashwaju getting tested, he and his wife, and that was necessary because his CSO
died
last week. And it was important for them to then begin to contact trace all those who had had contact with him. He was negative, but there was one of his other 8 that got positive.
Wow. So maybe that one had very close contact.
To that one. So he's been isolated so far. But it's good to know that he and his wife are hale and hearty. Moving on now to the Punch.
I'm happy for them.
Yeah, I know, because that age, man, you get scared. Like, what?
Yes.
And because they have a lot of traffic in and out of their house. So it's important that they stay healthy. The Punch. Buhari declares interstate lockdown as nationwide curfew begins Monday. Fire guts Lagos NNPC station, 30 cars and buildings. Controversy as NBA disowns Lagos lawyer and critic. Kenny Martin's 7.7 billion naira alleged fraud case gets fresh date. Dark Communication chairman tests positive of COVID-19.
They put it wrong there.
Okay. Ekiti commissioners' abductors demand 30 million naira. Be ready to pay higher for fuel, says PPRA. We distributed NAFDAC-certified rice, FG states. And IMF may approve Nigeria's $3.4 billion loan today. Okay, so let's start with the fire. NNPC was right here.
The NNPC fire, yes. So they said it started about 1 p.m. yesterday. The diesel tanker had come and parked. The manager said he wasn't really paying attention because he was waiting to see if they were lifting the lockdown, so they would then discharge the fuel. And suddenly they think it was electrical. Someone engineered the fire and it exploded, and 30 cars got burnt.
I heard there was a car lot just by the side, and so these are like somebody's investment in the midst of this lockdown that got burned. Some of them were trying to drive it out. Our heart goes out to
one of the reports I read, YK, was the fact that they didn't call the fire service early. I guess they thought they were trying to put out the fire themselves.
Where did you read that?
I read that I think in another nation or something.
In The Sun, it actually said they came, but they didn't have enough water.
They
didn't have enough water. Then the federal now came. That was when they managed to put the fire out. And the boys in the area too had gathered themselves.
I read on social media immediately that shortly after there was fire service, the Lagos Fire Service came and they were trying their best. And later the federal fire service came to try, and people were even applauding their efforts. The car lot that got burnt was really close to the place, so I think it was pretty contained, considering that it's volatile.
A lot of the residents were saying, why would they put filling stations in high residential areas like that?
That was a major road, though. That's a major. It's actually on a major road.
But I think what happens is these places are not high residential when they start.
Yes.
The people now moved
into those areas.
But we've had the one that was highly residential and a new filling station was brought there. And we said it on the show.
That's a different topic. Let's move on. I was going to pick one more story.
Rice. So the Minister for Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Disaster and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, spoke up because the report came out that Oyo State said they were going to return the rice that was delivered to them, that it had weevils. So the minister now said that every rice delivered to every state in Nigeria was NAFDAC certified. So she didn't understand where the weevils came from. So I'm just reporting a story countering what...
And she did say that other states in the south, because the report was that all the rice that was sent to the southwest states were bad. And she was saying, no, that's incorrect, because governors within the southwest did confirm that they got good rice. It was just oil that had issues, and then it's been taken back.
And Ondo has arrested 18 ladies of the night for violating the curfew, and put all of them for isolation and COVID-19 testing.
Okay. All right, moving on to Daily Sun. Buhari okay's gradual easing of lockdown from Monday. Let's find another story we've not taken. 7.74 billion naira fraud. More trouble for Kenny Martin as court gives fresh hearing date. Alien senators barred as National Assembly reconvenes. Wike confirms new cases, orders deportation of Almajiris and others. Okay, which story are we taking?
So Governor Nyesom Wike of Port Harcourt has said Rivers State, sorry, has said that some specific areas in Port Harcourt did not comply with the lockdown. And so those specific areas, Obiakwolo local government, Rumo Masi Stadium, Rumo Biokane and Elikaya, these areas will now be on complete lockdown starting today. Complete. And he said that because there was a case of, another case of COVID-19 has been confirmed, as at April 26, River had 6 confirmed cases and 2 fully discharged. So because of these specific ones, because they were not complying, it's now total. That means there's no movement allowed at all within this area.
Okay, is there a story you want to take in Son?
In Son?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I think we're talking about the senators.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, no, just that they're starting their plenary today.
Take the major headlines. Okay, please go ahead. Okay.
Sorry, let's change of thought. So they're starting today, and we're going to discuss that with them. We have a guest.
So they've asked the older ones, and that must be half of them,
to stay back, right?
To stay back.
Okay, and I didn't read that breakdown.
Yeah.
So the older ones stay back,
and
if
the
you are
ones who are
sick. Stay back.
Stay
So only the young and agile. I would like to see the numbers. What the numbers look like today.
I too would like to see the numbers. Maybe they're only about 30.
We'll see. Hopefully, I mean, I think they hold plenary at 10 a.m. So we'll look out for that. Okay, let's move on to Vanguard very quickly. Buhari extend lockdown to Lagos Ogun FCT till May 4th. COVID-19 patient delivers a baby girl at Luth. Frank, that was a fantastic story. Nigeria's total testing capacity now 50,000, says federal government. And Kano's mysterious deaths, autopsies being carried out to unravel cause, says the governor, Ganduje. And I'm really happy about that. So, I mean, all hands are on deck to support Kano State. I think I read that in a few of the papers also. So I think the PTF also did acknowledge the fact that the testing center in Kano has reopened in the last 12 hours, and now so they'll be able to test more people. And now autopsies are being carried out to ensure the cause of death of those
because
who had
there'll be
passed
speculation when fact is not released.
You know, I'm happy that all hands are on deck. You know, and I'm happy that the president actually brought it up in his address, which was very important. Because if he had avoided it, a lot of us would have been there to be at his throat. You know,
totally happy about that.
But I think, now that the plenary is opening today, that governor should be invited.
Yeah. There's been a lot of issues with the governor.
The reason right now, I'm not sure it's time for us to invite the governor. I think let us support him with all the help he needs.
Yeah, let's protect lives.
Let's protect the lives. Let's solve the problem first. Afterwards, when we're reviewing, we can then begin to get what happened, what caused that slow reaction.
He's still answerable to whether we are aiding him. We are going to aid him, yes. Whether we are going to aid him, and he's going to even collect the aid properly.
Okay, we have just very few minutes left. So it's Nigerian Tribune. I think let's find a story we've not taken. Polaris Bank posts 28 billion naira PBT in first full financial year operation. ASU says no to IPPIS. And let's move on now to Daily Trust, which we didn't take. FG warns states against competing over figures. I read that story. Buhari allows 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. movement in states. Let me take that story very quickly. So what the PTF was saying, that I think it was even the NCDC boss was saying that, listen, stop competing. Let us know the figures you're having in your state. This is not competition. We need to ensure, let's be truthful and sincere about the numbers we're dealing with, so we can help and support you. It's not about competition. You don't want anybody to know how many cases of you're dealing with.
Reduce or increase it.
Reduce or increase. This is not a competition. Let us all ensure that we're truthful and then seek the help that we need. I think that makes a whole lot of sense.
One people. We should act as one people. That is why I agree with you about the Kano. We should all actually help, because if anything happens in Kano, it will touch us here.
Absolutely.
Very true.
Absolutely.
So
let's go on a break. When we come back, we have a guest from Leadway Assurance. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. We have the Executive Director, Leadway Assurance, Ms. Adetola Adegbayi, to talk about the premium giveaway during this lockdown. Good morning, madam. Are you there?
Good morning.
Good to have you with us this morning. So Leadway Assurance is giving away. Tell us about that.
Well, this period has been a very challenging one for people.
Right.
Essentially, you have to stay at home, and that means your car is not going anywhere. You'd be lucky to get into it and start it every day to ensure that it's actually working. So we then decided that we need to recognize that. So when the federal government pronounced the first 2 weeks, we said that we need to give back to our customers. And that giving back is essentially to recognize the number of days within your premium. So you pay your premium for 1 year, or you pay your premium for 6 months, or for what have you. We then divide that into days. And we calculate the days, the 14 days out of the days, and then say that your equivalent premium will be returned to you in form of airtime credit. So you could use the airtime credit to reach out to families and friends and not feel so lonely being at home or just working from home all the time.
Right.
So that's the idea behind it, really. It's just to give value back to customers.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Who are those who qualify for the premium give back?
If you're a comprehensive motor insurance policyholder of Leadway, you qualify for the give back. If all you hold is a third-party motor cover, then you're not qualified, because that's essentially liability policy, and it has a flat premium that is regulated by law. But as a comprehensive insurance holder, you're basically covering your car for your own damage. So, and if you cover your car for your own damage and you're not on the, it means that the risk of damage to that car is limited. So we recognize a lower risk to your car and refund premium back to you in form of airtime credit.
Wow. So how do they redeem it? How would the people that qualify for this get this airtime credits? Would you call them? Would you just send them a text? Or would you just put it on their phone? Like, how would they get it? Those that are watching now, that are expecting it.
We thought through all this before making the announcement. So essentially, a customer would go to www.leadway.com, enter their details and their policy number. And once that is done, our backend system would basically use the policy number to recognize the amount of credit that is due to them. And then they get that in form of airtime credit automatically.
Now, for those who are not a part of Leadway Assurance at all, and they're hearing this, and they would like to be part of it, is it only for those who are existing clients, or new clients can actually participate in this?
You have to be an existing customer, because as you know, right now, the lockdown ends next week, Monday. So as an existing customer, you would have paid us premium, because we need to calculate the number of days that your car is at home. So if that happens and then you cover your car, then obviously you get your credit back in form of airtime. If you're a new customer within this period of lockdown, and you say you want to start your policy from today, say, it is possible for you to get a discount, because we will still recognize the fact that, you know, for the first 1 week starting from today, or 4 days starting from today, you're not going to be using your car. Right. So we could calculate the number of days, and then you could get that as a discount. But the automatic credit is actually for existing customers. And as I've said, that's because the existing customer is already within our database, and we can activate the credit automatically from behind.
Yeah, I'm happy that it's for your existing customers. I am not your customer, and I want you to make me your customer. Because I am quarreling with my own insurance company, because they didn't pay my insurance. They didn't pay me my whatever when my car got into a crash. So I want to come to Leadway. Please invite me. Make me want to come. Make it, as soon as the lockdown is over, I'm coming to Leadway.
Make her an offer.
Adetola, you're putting me in a very difficult position. The reason why is that as an insurer, when I hear that a client or a customer has not been able to obtain their claims from another insurer, I first of all have to deal with that, because we're within the same industry. Right. I would not compete against a colleague within the market. because a customer says, I have not received a claim, because I really do not know the details of that. So I'd rather focus on Leadway rather than...
Okay,
nice.
that's
So,
very good.
I'd rather focus on Leadway.
I think that's very honorable.
Try to talk against another insurer or say, come to Leadway. So there are many reasons for coming to Leadway. And one of the reasons for coming to Leadway would be that we would take care of you as a customer.
Right.
And I would want to believe that other insurers do the same thing. Particularly since I don't have the details of your claims. But please also, if you do have problems in terms of claims with an insurance company, kindly write to the Insurance Industry Association. That's the Nigerian Insurers Association, and they will look into your issues perfectly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I wanted to ask you that on a broader scale, for those that are not insured, we still have a high poverty rate. What other palliative measure is Leadway Assurance doing generally to people?
This period has actually shown the value of insurance. A lot of people have read abroad about those who have obtained event cancellation type policies where, because they can no longer hold the event, the insurer is actually paying them. A number of people are thinking about their property insurance, their business insurance. So for people who have business insurance, this is a time that they can actually sit more comfortably. The assets are insured. Should anything happen, you get paid. Also, I'm sure you would have read that this is also a period where insurers have actually shown very strong values in terms of the fact that the industry itself came together and also ensured that frontline workers are covered all over the Federation. Of course, from the Leadway point of view, we've actually done it at a state level, covering Lagos State, Ogun State, Kaduna State. So a number of our customers that are also our live customers have inquired, called into us to say that, look, are you going to pay me if anything happens during this crisis period? And we have said yes, because at this point is where insurance is about financial protection. And this is a period where you need financial protection most. Sure. So we are saying to our customers that be rest assured at this period, you have bought financial protection.
Right.
You will get financial protection.
Fantastic.
Should anything happen. And if anything happens to you and you are a life insurance holder, because life insurance is essentially money purchase, your beneficiaries will get the benefit of what you have left.
Right.
Overall, when you look at income does affect the ability of one to purchase insurance. Right. But when insurance is also a way of helping those who are less able to actually manage their finances properly. So if you're a low middle income person, a middle income person, an upper middle income person, you basically don't want anything to happen without you having a financial recompense. Right. And that's the benefit of insurance. Exactly. And that is what we offer to our clients. We offer financial protection. And we've been doing that for over 50 years.
Great, great stuff. Well done. I think Waika is impressed so far, but I have to run, unfortunately.
Yeah, say hello to your son.
Yes, we saw him at the background.
Well, that's the challenge of this TV interview.
I'm saying, trust me, we understand. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. Have a good day.
And keep safe and well. And
you
thank you for this opportunity of being on your program.
Right. Great.
Thank you.
Good. We've been speaking with the Executive Director of Leadway Assurance, Ms. Adegbayi. Let's go on a break now. When we come back, we continue our conversation. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So yesterday, President Muhammadu Buhari addressed the nation on ongoing lockdown with COVID-19. We would like to hear your own thoughts concerning his broadcast. Please call us on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourVTVC so we can read your tweets. A few of the highlights is that lockdown continues in Lagos, Ogun, and FCT up until May 4th. And there will be a nationwide curfew from 8 p.m. all the way to 6 a.m. in the morning. And one of the things that we were impressed about, the fact that Kano State got that immediate lockdown for 2 weeks. which was important. And obviously, he said that the palliatives that were given will be fine-tuned and going forward and ensure that more people get into that net of those who get the palliative. A lot of things he said, and I mean, as I said earlier on the show, that I did feel a sort of connection. It was easier. It wasn't forced. Sometimes when our president speaks to us, you feel like it's forced, like somebody just wrote it and is reading. But I felt like I was connected someone that, okay, this man is speaking to Nigerians. And it was a very good speech and it was very heartwarming. But what are your general thoughts? And I would like to hear Nigerians' views on the president's speech last night. Please call us on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweets. Waiki, I'd like to start with you.
Like you said, the Kano one is what really impressed me, because Kano, everybody has been really worried about Kano. And I think they need to enforce it. I am not the one that I hate advocating for soldiers, but here we need police, soldier, man of war, everybody there, OPC. Making sure, even the small food, everybody down. First, let us count ourselves. Because if they don't do that, it's going to seep into, because my cousin has just sent me a text that somebody from Kano is now in Lagos, and he is worried because that's his Suya person. He came
through some military.
He came through, yes. So even the soldiers are compromised, because he used his soldier brethren to enter Lagos and he's now selling Suya. So, and when you think of things like that, it scares you, and that is why Nigeria is at, we have a high risk. And, you know, but one of the things he did say that I'm hoping that the governor will now break it down. Who can open? Because they said...
necessary, essential.
It's not essential, it's partial, not partial lockdown. What was the word he used? Ease. Yeah. They're going to ease on the lockdown.
Yes.
Yes. So that is, who can open? Is it banks? Right. Is it bars?
So let's be clear.
You know, so yes, restaurants, so that we can be clear.
But he did say specifically that religious organizations and events or social events, restriction continues. Yes. Because that's where real gatherings occur, at parties, religious events and all that. So we still need to stay home for those activities. However, he wasn't very clear on businesses reopening. I don't know if I got that. He wasn't specific. But I think states will now have to look within and see what they can do going forward, how if offices can actually resume. But he did emphasize the fact that we needed to restart the economy. The economy has actually suffered quite a great deal as a result of this lockdown.
Yes, because, and then the curfew, again, because once they say we can go out, I can assure you, Monday morning like this, everybody's going to fly, because we are going to be as if we have been in prison. So everybody's going to fly out. Now, there will be serious traffic. 6 p.m., if businesses are open and they close at 5, 6 p.m., you cannot be in your house with their traffic on Third Mainland. So how are we going to do that curfew?
Right. So that means the good point, Waike, because that means offices might have to consider shutting down early. Maybe you instead of closing at 5, you close at 3, so your workers can get some time to get home on time before 8 p.m. curfew. But go ahead, Tope.
So, I applaud I want to see my president more like this. You know, many people tend to complain about the not seeing the president not speaking up enough. And every time I've heard him in the past 2 sessions, I've been really impressed with what he's put out. And the feeling of he's on top of what is going on, which is what people want. That feeling of hope that my leader cares about me. So that on ground. 2, we all applaud the response to Kano. It's important because it was like, what would the federal government do about this? How can the federal government be quiet? So we applaud that. 3 is my worry of how soon will we hear what the state government is going to do.
They told us yesterday.
They said what Kano, the president said. No. I'm saying the states.
Oh, generally.
Generally. Okay. Because while about 32 states are on a sort of partial or total lockdown, while the federal imposed on 3 states, each state has already been doing some form of partial lockdown. So he said it will be left to the states to determine what would happen. And to adopt also, what they can modify it. Also, he said that we would hear from the presidential task force on COVID to tell us how each sector will respond to this. So far, I would say that the lockdown hasn't brought a curb to the spread. as much as I would have expected. Because if we actually were completely locked down, we wouldn't have the cases of communal
But it's the increase in testing, you remember? That's actually helping us.
Communal transmission. We've been on lockdown in Lagos for over a month now.
Right.
Over a month. And when it started, we still even had the index case in custody. So if we had actually completely done the lockdown, we wouldn't have been at this stage. So my statement is, I know that the state government, Lagos state government has already said that they are going to, everybody should mask up when going out. Can we break down sector-specific areas? Can we implement hand washing in markets? Because I still go to K2 market and it is still crowded, and so when we're not trickling it down to the locals.
Let me take this call from Omotayo. He's been holding for a while. Omotayo, are you still there?
I'm still there.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please. You're live.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Omotayo.
Good morning. I'm calling from Aja.
Okay, go ahead, please.
I really appreciate our president's speech yesterday, particularly concerning the curfew, because in my area it's tense. I've not really seen any total lockdown around here.
Are you serious?
You
In
see,
Aja?
beer parlor, people gather together around Bade, around Bata, in their beer parlor, even in the night.
Wow.
I don't really go out, but that day there was a meeting we have to go to that area. I was surprised. See people gathering, drinking beer parlor everywhere. I think this coffee will really help.
Yeah, I think so too. Thank you so much. Somebody actually called me yesterday and told me mile 12 here, that there are mosques open. They're actually taking prayers. They are crowded as if they have no idea what's going on in the country at all. In mile 12. I haven't been there, but somebody did call, and we'll send people there to go and check and see. But the truth is that there are pockets of communities in Lagos State
that seem
are totally clueless, or they seem unaffected.
Seem unaffected by the sheer danger that their activities and their action and how their individual action is undermining the effort of every other person that is sitting down at home. Another thing the president did that really I'm happy about is the insurance, highlighting the insurance. You know, Lagos State came up a few weeks ago and said that, oh, every health worker within our state has been protected. Now we have the federal government doing the same. It's a major show of support for workers, especially within Kano, where we heard that some workers have absconded because they are scared of being exposed to COVID-19 and not having any insurance or hazard allowance increase. So now the hazard allowance has covered many more health workers. So that is a good thing from the president.
Let me take Michael's call from Agege. Mike, are you there? Let's get some tweets.
Yes, I'm there. Good morning.
Go ahead. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I want to say something quickly. Yeah, I listen to and I watch TVC News. Hello,
yes,
I can hear me.
We can hear you very clearly.
Yeah. This, the policy that government are planning to give small scale business in Nigeria. And the question is that, is it all Nigerians that have small scale business? What of people that work with private companies and, you know, we are ordered to stay at home for more than a month now? What will now be our own gain? You know, like so many people sitting at home doing nothing, what will now be their gain? One, and you know, in this, you know that we all know that this time is very challenging, very tough and challenging. Many people don't have food to eat. What will not be their gain?
The gain is to be alive, Michael. Honestly, at the end of the day, the gain is to be alive. And I think that we need to, I've said it on this table that my business has been shut down for 6 weeks now, which means that I have not gotten any income from there. Doesn't mean I've not incurred expenses because I paid last month's salary and I'm going to pay something this month. So at the end of the day, if we start thinking what will be my gain, because I cannot access any palliative from the government, my business is too small and I'm not captured. So, and I know many businesses are like that. But if I come on and I'm shouting, I've lost something, I'm not thinking of what I've gained by being alive. So Michael and every other person thinking like Michael, thinking we've lost money. In addition, think of the fact that you are alive.
In addition, yes, go ahead, Wagner.
Yeah, I just want to say, you see, people like Michael, because they don't understand. Maybe he's a taxpayer. He belongs to the lower middle class. A lot of us are in the lower middle class. And the palliatives do not come to the middle class at all. So we are thinking, and then you go out, like yesterday when I went for my walk, a lot of shops, shops that have nothing to do with essential goods. So
They're opened.
They are open. So it is Michael now, whose business is, maybe he's a tailor, or maybe he can't open, and he's
Let me take this last call.
Business is not even...
Let me take this final call before we come back to Michael's story. I think I have Fatoki. Thanks for calling. Are you there?
I'm there.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
I'm from Ekiti State, and I want to talk about the president issue on the lockdown.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. The lockdown, Nigerians, we all know that Nigerians are a bit adamant. Even when the lockdown was meant to be effective, people were seen not staying at home. We're seeing old dogs during lockdown. Now that there's a little ease on the lockdown, there's a certainty that Nigerians want to burst out and say, oh, there's a small ease, so we can go outside. So there's a probability that the ease will be not too good for Nigerians, in my own view. But I guess the president did not take this decision by himself. It was briefed before he took the decisions.
Right. All right, thanks for calling. We have to wrap up, but I think it's important that I just go back to Michael, just like the talker rightly said. We must remember that this is a pandemic. There is no vaccine. Olakorin, the woman that was killed, her abductors that were arrested, one of them, I think some of them were actually tested positive. What that is telling you and I, there's a huge communal spread. We are hearing that people are dying in different states. Now, because it doesn't come so close to you, you still feel that they're making us stay home. What is our gain? Listen, God forbid that this thing spreads beyond our capabilities. You and I would then be affected. So you won't be thinking of what's my gain at that time. So Nigerians must begin to let's put ourselves in the shoes of our leaders. They are doing everything to contain this, and we must do our own part also to support them. Let's take a few tweets and run off.
Nelly Q says, I hope that the government clarifies on the easing off of the lockdown, because a lot of people are mistaking it for complete unlocking. Please. The Good Shepherd says, no, sorry.
Lord Tony says, I think it's a wrong idea. This virus has killed 56,000 Americans. We have only tested 10,000 in Nigeria. It's a horrible decision. Our goal is to create more space for future cases, not to expose people to harm.
Right.
He doesn't agree with the ease. Fabian Mars, I did not feel any connection. Kano lockdown was a good one. Now, for a city like Lagos with large population, how do you maintain that theory of 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. lockdown? We need to hear from various state governments. We need to get tested more and more. All
right, let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing our thoughts and views on our president's speech and Nigerians' reactions generally to the lockdown, the fact that now we have a curfew, although some people feel that the curfew is not necessary or is still kind of counterproductive, if you look at it, because people are still going to be allowed to go out. So there are different parts of this that we can still discuss. But I'd like to take a few tweets. Waike, do you have some more? Tope, go ahead. Waike, go ahead.
Please. I will read them after, because I just touched something.
All right. So, good morning, Morayo. The Mr. President's decision to impose 2 weeks lockdown on Kano is a very good and necessary one, but I'm not sure lifting that of Lagos and FCT is a good call. Though I understand he's under immense pressure from Nigerians. That's from Yaya. Many people are sharing that opinion. Livino said, the president's speech was top-notch this time. I wish the curfew could be extended to 10 p.m. for those living in the extreme areas of Lagos to make it down home after the day's work due to traffic. This is to avoid face-off with the security personnel.
I'd like us to touch on the religious part and the social gatherings, because what they're saying is that it's like church is not going to be the same like it used to be for a long time. For longer than expected.
Everything is going to be the same.
But we're thinking that by first Sunday in next May, we'll come and do Thanksgiving. Thank God for he has helped us.
You know what?
But it's looking like
Thanksgiving means everybody will gather. So
it's looking like we're not going to have that. So now, is it that religious leaders across board now must now begin to face the reality of the times? Like, okay, maybe church is going to be online for a while. Maybe parties will be online. You'll be doing parties remotely. Those who have refused to bury their dead, I have to now realize the fact that, yes, let's do the burial and they will party. Maybe this time next year, we'll now do a proper party. I mean, let's discuss the options for people.
The option is reality check. There's no option. It's reality check. I have thought about it. Look, I am facing it because celebration is in October. We have already been discussing amongst ourselves. Do you think celebration can hold? Now, look at the kind of crowd. Are you going to tell everybody that comes to celebration to wear a mask? You can't. You can. You can, but can you ensure when they start sweating? When I'm walking, when I go for my walks and I start sweating, before I know it, I'm doing like this, and I'll remember, I'll put it back on. So and this is a heat-prone country. Right. So I think realistically, I don't see things being normal again this year.
At least for this year. Maybe we should just suspend every, because I was going to do a party this year, July 6th. Remember, I was planning a party. So now it's looking like I will have to move this party to next year.
We'll do Zoom
because
party.
the truth is that let us start beginning to face the reality. That between now and maybe whenever there's a vaccine, or because to the end of the year, we might need to face the reality that all social gatherings might be on hold.
So I feel, honestly, my industry, I'm in the beauty industry.
And your beauty?
Yes, beauty is not the priority for people right now.
Yes.
And they will not do beauty if they don't have a party to go to.
Let me pause you. Come to your industry. Let me take this call. Good morning. Are you there?
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Princess.
Princess.
Oh, yeah. I love what you guys are doing. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I just want to comment on this headline of the newspaper.
Right.
The fire that got burnt at Ogba here.
Yes.
It's right side beside my house. I just want to tell you, we have not gotten there in this country. We call this fire station they got there around, let's say, 40 minutes after. Even the car beside it supposed not to got burnt. But later when they came, they said there is no water. Can you imagine? That one going to another house, even the house behind it. What country are we? And they are telling us they are there immediately. That is very, 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 in fact, I'm so sad with the headline. I don't even like it at all.
Well, thank God. I didn't think we recorded any lives lost, which is a good thing. But properties were lost.
Good thing, but in this one that everybody is broke.
Yeah.
Because your businesses are not
on standstill.
Then your 30 cars get burnt.
Right. Really.
The head of the fire service, number one. You see, when we start to actually punish people for this kind of thing, I think we will start to take our job seriously.
Let's verify, because the paper I read, I think it was Tribune or something I read, saying that they did not call the fire service on time because they thought they could put out the fire themselves.
She is a witness. She said she called.
If you don't call the fire service,
we'll get somebody from there to come and tell us exactly what happened, because it's important we get the story right. Yeah. But let's talk about your industry, because I was saying that the makeup, the caterers, the band players, the event planners, the ushers, they've built a whole industry around parties, around churches. You know, people are doing all these things. They do that kind of funny hats they wear to churches. Fascinators. This is a whole industry that tailors, because the reason why you're doing up and down is really for Sunday service.
And for parties.
So these are going to be affected, whether we like it or not, at least for some time. How would these industries survive? And we need to probably bring in a guest to help those people in that industry to begin to think of how they can diversify or think of other options. But let me come to you, because I know that that's your own bit.
So obviously you're going to try to diversify, but your diversification is going to be short-term, because how long would you do WhatsApp classes, which is what many people are doing now? Oh, WhatsApp makeup class, oh, WhatsApp this one class, WhatsApp DIY class, and the income level has dropped. So and that's why I share a bit in what Michael is saying, in that these set of people are not captured because they are not the poorest of poor. And the government's palliative is for the poorest of poor, and the funding from CBN is a loan, is not a grant. So it means that if I collect the money now and I'm using it to stimulate my business, I'll need to find a way to pay it back over the next 3 years for a business that I don't know how it's going to respond to market realities after COVID. So I think the government needs to capture beyond those that they've written down. Other sectors need to be thought of. And what kind of palliative will you design for such sectors?
Let me take this call from John. John from Kafancha.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I want to just emphasize on issue of the president's speech.
Right, go ahead.
Yes, it's very good when he relaxes as he easing it. But what I'm looking onto is that they have never done enough in order to protect people in this issue of virus. I'm expecting by this time, I think in every local government, we should have like mobile, as in some vans that you can see written COVID-19, that you can report anything at any time. You understand? That's exactly what I'm expecting. So people can easily reach to this NCDC easily. Because if you see, if there's any case, if you call that number, it takes actually more than 2-3 days before you see people responding to you. I think it's not a good one for Nigeria.
That's a fantastic point you raised, John, because you're right. We're a highly populated country, and we do need those mobile kiosks, either to collect samples or to, we won't say testing because testing is very technical. But at least the least any government can do is to get as many kiosks as possible, mobile, so that people are going around the communities that if you're feeling symptoms, please come forward, get tested.
There's
Take
a
the
documentary
samples.
from Senegal showing that they found a way to simplify the test for their own people. So when we say the test, they said they found their own way. The WHO can revolt against it, but they've been able to manage the crisis within their country. I'm not one of those that like the relaxing of the curfew, the lockdown, but the lockdown itself, from what I've seen, has not been effective. The lockdown hasn't been implemented. The few times they tried to implement it, there was case of violence and people saying that the police, there's extrajudicial brutality on the citizens. So my talk would be to citizens themselves. Yes, the government has said they relax it. Would you be wise enough to protect yourself, maintain social distancing, wash your hands, eat the necessary meals to boost your immune system? Because
you know,
if it affects you, it is you.
I'm glad you brought up Senegal. I'm glad you brought up Senegal. What Senegal have done, they have looked at the African problem and faced the African problem. So I think it is about time now that African leaders should now gather themselves, have meetings, and now say, okay, what is... America is doing their own solution. Britain is doing their own solution. What is our own? Let us face out. There is something happening in Madagascar. I'm not sure what it is, but they are looking for the one that is local solutions. Let African leaders come together as one. This is where we now start to say African unity. Please, let COVID not kill Africa. It's not even our own disease.
Right, let me take this call. Our final call, Lillian. Thanks for calling. Are you there, Lillian?
Yes, ma. Good morning.
Go ahead. Morning.
All right. I'm calling from Kaduna.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, we've been talking about the healthcare workers who are on the front line and what the government needs to do for them.
Right.
But I would like to tell us that here in Kaduna State, instead of the state government improving on the salary structure or the hazard allowances of the health workers, 25% of the salaries of health workers and all civil servants were deducted. And the government claims it's to help it fight the COVID-19 pandemic. A lot of persons are sitting at home and they are staying safe. Health workers are going to work. They are risking their lives and that of their families. We have no PPEs in our facilities. We have no gloves. There's nothing. Yet we go to work, and then at the end of the day, instead of the government to do something in order to increase our hazard allowances, the best they can do is to deduct 25% from our salaries.
Thank you, Lillian. Thank you, Lillian, for this report. We'll definitely look into that because we're a news station and we can then investigate and see what's going on in Kaduna State. But thank you for bringing that to our attention. We have to go on a break.
Can I quickly say this before we go on a break? You see, African leaders should be, because when Ebola came into Africa, Ebola was African. Look at how they contained it within their countries. They didn't allow them to be flying about and distributing it all over Africa. It's in China and Europe that they have now spread everything to everyone, giving us here. I'm very annoyed. We have to continue.
On that note, let's go on a break. We spoke to a professor who says that she can help with some herbal remedies, which is what YK is talking about. What can we do within? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, with the rising rate of COVID-19 spread and there's no cure, some people reportedly are seeking alternative remedies to prevent the virus. Some of these reported remedies include herbal therapies, teas, essential oils. We have with us Dr. Idayat Gbadamosi, an associate professor at the University of Ibadan, who says there are possible herbal ways of preventing the coronavirus. Welcome with us, Dr. Idayat Gbadamosi. Good morning, madam. Are you there?
Good morning. How are you?
Good, good.
We're fine, thank you.
We're hoping to hear some good news from you because YK has been talking about it almost from day one, that it's got to be herbal remedies, it's got to be Nigerian's African solution to preventing the spread of this virus, and possibly in future cases, maybe the cure. But in your view, what are the remedies that we have, and what's ongoing to see how we can get something for the people to use?
Good morning once again.
Morning.
The severity of COVID-19 infection has been attributed to predisposing factors. So, those who are diabetic, suffering from cancer, or any other cardiovascular diseases, including diabetes and chronic respiratory infections, are more vulnerable, as well as people within the age group of 30 to 79 years of age. Also, the severity has been attributed to gender. Male are more vulnerable because they smoke and because of pre-existing lung cancer. Aside that, the level of immunity, that is the innate immunity, has a significant role to play in COVID-19 infection, as well as the level of immune defense system. In my own view, the use of herbs to boost immunity will help in preventing coronavirus and mitigating its spread in Nigeria. Herbs that could be useful are based on the symptoms of coronavirus infection. Being a viral infection, antiviral plants will be very, very useful in the containment of the infection.
Can you give us an example of antiviral plants, please?
Some of the antiviral plants are Philanthus amarus, that is locally known as Enyolobe.
As what?
As Enyolobe
in
Yoruba. Aside that, we have the fruits of melon. It could be useful too. We call it locally bara. And the commonly known tagiri, the colocin species, it is equally useful in the treatment of coronavirus infection. One species that has good antiviral activity is clove. Clove. We call it locally kanafuru. Definitely plants are around us for our use. And the key to their use resides in their signature, in their form and shape, texture, or color. If you look at the structure of coronavirus, the common round-shaped virus, it is similar in structure to some of the mentioned plants. Now, the percentage of recorded case patients for fever is between 80 to 90% of recorded cases, according to reports from China. So some anti-malaria plants are Alstonia bune.
Ma, let me pause you for a second, because people will are listening to us now and thinking, okay, I know this one, I know this one. They want to go and pluck these leaves and start boiling or something. And we don't want to give anybody any kind of recipes on the show, because everything that we give to people must be NAFDAC approved. Go through the right process.
Recipes.
Sorry?
I'm mentioning plants.
I know. I'm saying that what you're advocating is that we do have herbal remedies in Nigeria that can help boost our new immune system. That's what you're saying. I wanted to be sure that that's what we're saying. We're not asking anybody to go and start boiling these leaves and drinking.
I've not said that.
Boost your immune system.
I have not said that.
Okay.
I am just trying to identify the plants that could be useful.
Very good.
And to portray the richness of our rainforest vegetation in the procurement of medicinal plants for treatment of this particular coronavirus.
Fantastic. All right.
I think I have little understanding of your guidelines. I'm not prescribing any recipe.
Okay, no, I wanted to be sure because, you know, it's important the viewers understand that we're not asking them to go and start boiling these leaves.
No.
All right, go ahead, Tope.
We are not telling them to go and pluck leaves and be boiling.
Right.
But we are telling them to pay attention to their health.
Right.
Especially the boosting of the immune system.
Right.
We should not wait for viral infection before we take good care of our health. Ordinarily, if we do not smoke and we do not take alcohol, and we have adequate exercise and adequate sleep, as well as ensuring that our diet is rich in fruits and vegetables, and we pay attention to our environment, living in a clean environment and paying attention to cooking of our food, especially meat. We should cook food thoroughly.
Right.
If we do all this, it will boost our immunity.
All right, let me get a few more questions for you.
Okay, so I'm a proponent of, you know, your food is building you, your food is making
Speak
you.
louder, please.
And I'm a proponent of your food is building you and your food is making you better. And I felt very concerned that we've spent so much funds raising awareness for COVID-19, washing of hands, sanitizing, wearing masks, but we're not talking about the importance of building our immune system. So while we will not say, I'm not asking you to tell people what to prescribe, can you give us which of our everyday food that we already eat, that by increasing the quantity of those foods, we would improve our immune system? And which of the things do you think we consume now that is detrimental to our health that we should reduce the quantity?
She has said it's
For
cigarette and
now,
alcohol.
to boost our immunity, we should concentrate on the consumption of fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
Cereals and spices. We have lots of vegetables around us, like ugu, like ewedu, bure, and the likes. Fruits, we have the citrus, peach, awesome, especially lemon this time around. We have watermelon and all the likes. But for spices, this is the time to consume more of spices, such as turmeric, garlic, clove,
ginger,
pepper.
Pepper enko. Atarodo.
Guinea pepper. The normal pepper we use for stew is different from the medicinal pepper.
Right.
Okay.
The small one.
Are you with me?
Yes.
The medicinal pepper has clove, garlic, ginger, turmeric, and what we call atari, guinea pepper.
Alligator pepper,
those
yeah.
are the ones we should put in our food.
I'd like to ask you this question, because when we watch international news, we hear that a lot of these news stations rely heavily on data, information from universities, from professors. Johns Hopkins is always there. Emerson, so many universities are there giving information. As a professor, an associate professor in University of Ibadan, and just the University of Ibadan, one of our premier universities in this country, what are you doing as a body to support the government in providing these remedies that could be actually put into maybe tablets or some to make consumable for Nigerians to use at some point? Because all hands are on deck to find different things to help Nigerians to build their immune system to prevent this virus. So what are you doing as a university or as a body to help support the federal government's information? Because you have it.
I want to tell you that the entire university community of the premier university is involved with the Oyo State government.
Okay.
Which is our location. And we are a member of the Coronavirus Task Committee.
Right.
Today, the university has been involved in the sanitation of the state secretariat. The place has been set against coronavirus. We have so many groups within the university system being involved in the containment of coronavirus. Those in chemistry are working on synthetic compounds. Those in pharmacy are solution. Those of us in botany and agric science, we are working on plants.
Oh, fantastic.
Trying as much as possible to carry out studies on their bioactivity with the hope that the end product will benefit the entire nation in the containment of COVID-19 infection.
You know,
we are totally involved.
You know, I've been advocating that Nigerians and Africans should look within for the cure to, because this is an imported disease, it's not an African disease. We can cure our own. I think that the solution for Nigeria and Africa as a whole is within our herbs and, like you said,
in ethnomedicine, there's nothing like indigenous disease or imported disease. A disease is a disease. And prior to this time, we've had cause to encounter endemic or pandemic diseases, even in the olden days. And our folks put the infections or the diseases under control because they had good knowledge of the interpretation of the symptoms, such as the fact that they refer to these infections as àrùn àìfojúrí, and they used herbs against the infections. What we are having right now is that the government is not ready to look inward. In the natural science, we believe that before you come down with an infection, the plant that you will use for your treatment 6 months before you break down. So if the disease is coming from China, it's not imported because we all have that around us here too. The most important thing is that we should turn to nature. Nurture us till old age.
Right.
Let the government be ready to fund research, research on medicinal plants.
Exactly.
If that one is done, where we have serious problem is the application of research findings.
Right.
We do a lot of research in all Nigerian universities, and we have accumulated books. Our shelves are filled up. The federal government is not making use of our findings.
Can you use private support? Because obviously, listen, it's not only you that the federal government hasn't listened to. There's so many sectors that are saying they're waiting on the federal government. But, you know, private individuals have come forward to support. Do you think if the universities partnered with some major philanthropists, maybe they can actually invest in some of these research studies? Because the truth is that we need it at this time. All your studies that have been on the shelves. Is a good time to bring out these findings for us so that we know how we can solve this problem. Don't you think? Private support will help?
I think so too. And I want to say that I appreciate your contribution because that will be an high opener. We will try as much as possible to explore in the application of our findings.
Right.
But one thing I want everybody to realize is that the pharmaceutical companies are our major problem.
Yes, they are.
Because
you.
of the sale of their
100%.
selective poisons that they call orthodox drugs. They will be the one to invent infection, identify it, because they are poisonous chemicals against it. Since they've been treating cancers or cancer with chemotherapy, are there any survivor of a cancer disease?
Before we run off, ma. Before we run off.
They have a few. They have a few because they will say they have a few. But I have a friend who her husband has cancer and they've decided to do it the natural way. The cancer hasn't gone away, but it has not spread.
The person has not broken down.
He has not broken down because he's doing it the natural way. You know, because we don't have many cases of this, and we don't have documentation.
Yes, of that.
So they use it to say, no, those people are talking rubbish.
In ethnobotanical medicine.
Right. Yes, please, I want to quickly throw something in. Is it possible to overdose on this atare and ginger and lemon? Is it possible that these things that were told to boost our immune system, we can overdose on it?
It is possible.
Okay.
Because when our forefathers, when they give you prescription, they will up with guidelines.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay. Yes.
Do you understand?
Okay. Yes.
So when you use spices, you should use a pinch.
Okay.
In whatever diet.
Right.
So that you don't have heartburn.
Okay.
Right.
And I refer you to the word that after you kinking to fin shokoju, because you need little pepper. Do you understand?
Right.
In your diet.
I have to let you go, ma. We've run out of time. Goodness me.
Yeah, I know we have to let you go, ma, but there was one important tweet.
God bless you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We have to run off, unfortunately. But if we have,
there's this important tweet. I think we should ask somehow. Just, can you ask the herbal way to treat Lassa fever, as this has its origin in Nigeria?
So certainly, we have to run. We have to run. Unfortunately, we have to go. But many of the research that we're depending on today are from universities abroad. And we do have them in Nigeria, and we need to begin to look inwards. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.